Well, there you have it. You have the reunion on the right-hand side of the screen of Paul Whelan and Evan Gershkovich and also Kumerseva meeting with their families for the first time in a very long time. It is heartrending to see that as they get off this private plane that they will soon probably get back on to go down to San Antonio, Texas. Interesting that you see, we just want to wait to see what they're cheering about. Evan.
Are you saying Evan?
Absolutely. Yeah, as you see, this is about a dozen or so reporters from the Wall Street Journal, some of the senior executives, and friends and colleagues. Reporters who said some of them are here covering this event, like any other newspaper. Reporters just like headlines, and then some just been here to greet their friends. Another thing to note when we talk about some public joint base managers as this plane is landing. Earlier, before we walked over here, standing with Paul Whelan.
We're going to pause to say goodbye to our affiliates for 2 seconds. And welcome back to our continuing coverage. I'm Trace Gallagher, live in Los Angeles. We have just seen the 3 former prisoners in Russia, Paul Whelan, Evan Gershkovich, and also Kumerseva, get off the airplane, be greeted by the president and the vice president, as well as some of their family members. And what you just saw as we started this was Evan Gershkovich over there greeting some of his colleagues, some of his colleagues at the Wall Street Journal who came down en masse. There were at least a dozen of them by our count that came to welcome him back to American soil. They will all 3 now head to San Antonio, Texas, where they will be medically checked out. Let's pause and just listen to what they're yelling. Kevin Corker was about 15 feet, 20 feet on the other side of this. You just saw Evan Gershkovich walk over there and greet his Wall Street Journal. Kevin Corker is in that area. And I'm wondering, Kevin, I mean, you're trying to get Evan Gershkovich to speak. Hold on 1 second, and we'll jump in. And you see the president there kind of walking away with the vice president. I'm not sure if they will address the crowd again, but let's just watch for a second.
Mr. President! Mr. President, please! Come talk to us! Mr. President, we couldn't be there. Come talk to us for 1 second.
Come on, Mr. President. Thank you, sir. This mic right here.
Mr. President, how did you process seeing those 3 Americans come off the plane? How did you process this moment?
Great satisfaction and a feeling of relief for the family.
Did you think that this moment would come, sir?
Yes.
What made you feel so confident?
My relationship with other heads of state that I had to get to agree on all that.
Tell us what you said.
How did it compare? What did you have to say to the family members and the 3 Americans, sir?
Pardon me?
What did you have to say to the 3 Americans and their family members, sir?
Welcome home and beyond that.
You said, sir, that family is everything earlier today. What has it meant to be with the family all day today as they are now finally reunited with their loved ones?
You can appreciate, look, anyone who's lost family or worried about whether family would come home, whatever the circumstance was, has to understand the extreme. You've heard me say it before. My dad used to say family is the beginning, the middle, and the end. And it really is. It's about who we are. It's about who we are as a country.
What is your message tonight to Vladimir Putin?
Stop.
What's your message
Stop.
to the
Stop
American
what?
people?
Stop, sir.
The American people are watching
will
this
stop,
broadcast
sir?
tonight, and I think it's fair to say they're celebrating with the families. What's your message to the American people?
There's nothing beyond our capacity when we act together. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Remember who the hell we are. We're the United States of America. The United States of America. We put back together relationships with countries that we haven't had before. We rebuilt NATO. We rebuilt the circumstances allowing this to happen. That's why it happens.
And Mr. President, should American journalists ever feel afraid about reporting abroad?
I think, look, no matter where you are, there's certain places that you're going to be afraid. I mean, the idea you're never going to be afraid. You'd never show up anywhere in the Middle East. You wouldn't show up anywhere in Russia. You wouldn't show up anywhere. It matters. It matters to be aware of what you're going into and not to take undue chances because I'm going to come get you.
Of your many
Mr.
achievements,
President, how-
where does this rank
Mr. President.
among your many achievements as president?
Well, look, to me, this is about the essence of who we are as a country. It really is about personal relationships. It's about family. It's about being able to have access to the people you love and you adore. Imagine how you'd all feel if you were being held captive unfairly and you had children waiting at home for you. Imagine how you feel. How many of you have children? Raise your hand. Yeah. Okay? Imagine being sitting in a prison, not knowing you'll ever get home, and wondering what's going on with your children. How they go to bed at night crying, how they ache every night and every day you're gone. It matters.
Mr. President, we understand that very important call that you made
Mr. President,
to
what do you
Prime
want to
Minister
ask
of
Putin?
Slovenia
Mr.
came
President.
hours before you announced that you were going to be leaving the 2024 race. Can you talk to us a little bit about how important it was for you to get this deal done, knowing that you were not going to seek a second term? Was it very important?
I'd still get it done even if I was seeking a second term. You're stuck with me as president for a while, kid. There's no way out, okay? You got me for at least another 100 or 90 days or so. So it did not even do with that. It had to do with the opportunity and trying to convince one last country to say, okay, they'll step up.
Mr. President,
Mr. President,
how
surely
critical?
this will now be cemented as a part of your one-term legacy. How are you thinking about the rest of your time in office? How are you?
Oh, we can talk about that another day.
What's your message to other Americans in prison
How
abroad?
President Chancellor Scholz's commitment to getting this deal across the finish line? Could it have been possible without that agreement
No.
that he made?
Mr. President,
Madam Vice President, your reaction tonight.
Very good night. It's a very good night, and it's testament to the work that we prioritize under Joe Biden's leadership and our administration, which is the importance of building alliances, building the strength that we have through diplomacy to have outcomes like this. And there's so much at stake right now in our country and in this upcoming election, including who has which approach to understanding America's strength. This is an example of the strength of American leadership in bringing nations together to deliver Americans values to their families.
And I wonder whether you have a message for somebody like Mark Fogel, Madam Vice President.
Evan, come on.
Evan, would you come talk to us for 1 minute?
One second.
welcome back.
Welcome home.
Welcome home. Maybe. he'll come. Let's see.